Hi everybody, this is Bonnie coming back to you with card number 3 from our online class where we are using the Wisteria's Wishes bundle. So let's get started. This is going to be the card we're going to use today. I love this card. This is a new in color. It is called Titanium Tide. I love it, love the color. And I absolutely, I just love this whole card. So let's get started on how I put this card together. Put that right there. First, in your kit, you're going to get all these parts. Lots and lots of parts. Okay. And then a little circle punch. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is score this piece in half. It is 8.5 by 5.5, and it's going to be scored in the middle at 4 1/4. So we're going to score it right in half, just like that. Then this goes right here, just like that. I love both sides of this, but I really have to say this pattern on this side, I can't think of what they would call it, like stripes and different things. I really like it. All right. Then I went ahead and I die cutted. Now, this was not a requirement that you needed for the card, but so I was able to die cut it out for you because it's just a die cut. If it was a stamped image or anything like that, I can't stamp anything for you. But I used the ornate layering dies, and I went ahead and I die cutted this out for you. So I used this die, and we are going to do some stamping on it, but then we're going to place it right here. So let's get out our little stamp pad and our scrap paper that I have here. Get these parts out of the way. Okay, we have this. Let me put this up here. Keep our card in the camera. Alrighty. So we are going to go ahead and we're going to stamp up. You just make sure the stamp pad is clean, and it is. All right. So now we're going to stamp this in the Wisteria's, or not mysterious. I keep wanting to call all this Wisteria's. I'm sorry about that. Titanium Tide, and we're going to stamp off, and then we are going to stamp right here, just like that. And then we're going to do it again. We're going to stamp off, and then we are going to stamp right here again. And it's okay that it overlaps. It actually looks very good. And then you should have another like 3 by 3 piece of paper in your kit. And we're going to stamp off, and then we're going to stamp here. Like that. So we're done with that piece. And then we are going to bring in the other piece that we used, and we're going to stamp over top of all of these, but this time we are not stamping off at all. Okay, so it looks like that. All right. So now we can set that aside for a minute, and we can move this out of the way. And we're going to bring in the little guy. Alright, so now we're going to put this card together. This is a pretty quick card. I'm going to get some Stampin' Dimensionals out. And I did not fill my Stampin' Dimensional thing because I got all these scraps. And I just keep pushing it to the bottom and then using new ones. And I'm like, I am determined to use these before I fill it again. So I know. So silly. But, alright. So we got that. And we could peel these off like this. And we will flip this down and center it. Okay guys, I'm back. My camera died and I had to wait for it to charge, so I'm back. Just as a recap, in case I missed anything, I had just placed this down with the Stampin' Dimensionals. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this one, and I'm kind of putting it right here, offsetting it, and I'm going to use dimensionals too. Let me get out some minis. So I'm just going to set it right down just like that so you can see it there. Alright, now I've die cutted out all of these leaves, like 3 different types of leaves. This one I went ahead and I trimmed off that little piece right there. I didn't want that piece in it, so I trimmed that off, and I trimmed off this piece up there. And I'm just gonna lay these out so that you could see like my process of how I think about when I do these. Again, I didn't want this piece in here, so I trimmed that off, and I trimmed this one off right there, and then I put this one over top of these like this. Then I took this and I cut this one off of the little spigot or whatever, off the limbs here, and I stuck this in there. Well, actually I stuck it in this way, sorry. Stuck it in so it kind of popped up behind it. And then I have this one here. Did I put that one there? Okay, wait a minute. That one wasn't the one I put there. This is here like this. This is the one I put over there. So I cut this stuff off. And I put this one over here. So I put this one over here like that. I put this here like this. And then I got this one here. And then I took this one and I put it right here like this. And we're going to end up hiding that little bit because we've got the bow to put on. So now that we've done that, we're going to get out our liquid glue and attach all these down. So I have that. So now we're going to take and we're going to make our bow. You should have a long piece and a short piece in your kit. And all I did was I left a little bit of a tail, and then I wrapped this around until I had about the same amount of a tail, maybe a little bit more on the other side. Then I'm going to pinch this together. If you have a partner, it is helpful, or if you have those pinching tweezers, that helps. And I'm going to lay this down right here, if I can keep it where I want it without it moving. Uh-oh, maybe I have to twist it again. Okay, then we're going to put this in here, and I'm going to try and do this one-handed. Try, I said, everybody. Okay, and then I'm twisting it around. A partner is definitely helpful, or something to hold it, clip it. Now I lost the end, and the glue that was on my finger is sticking to me. Here it is, grab it. There we go. Whew. And then don't pull it real tight yet if you did it on your own like I did. And then you can kind of maneuver it if it isn't quite in the center, but I think that's fine. And then add another knot to it. Add just another knot like that. And then we're gonna make these go the way we want them to go. We're gonna get a ribbon scissors out here, and we are gonna trim these a little bit. I think they're a little long. And if there's any frayed edges, I kind of like to clean it up a little bit. Okay, then we're going to take a glue dot. Got all this little sparkly stuff. Take a glue dot. You could use 1, 2 glue dots, however many you want. You know, when I want it to stick to something, sometimes it don't. And when I don't want it to stick to them, they're all over me. And then I end up sticking this right there. And I just kind of spread stuff out a little bit. You know, make it land where it wants. I think I'm going to shorten this one up a little bit more, because that one's a little long. So it looks like that. Then we're going to go and we're going to take this circles. Yours is punched out for you guys. And this circle punch was 1 1/4. And then this one was 1 3/8 of a punch. And you can either use circles or dies. I still have the old circle punches, so that's what I used. So now we are going to grab, I didn't get it out. We're going to grab Faith is About Trust. Is about trusting. And is that not true? Amen. I need a block. Here we go. And then we are going to stamp this up. And I'm just going to put it right here. Just like that. And then I'm going to grab my 1 1/4 inch punch, and I had it here. Oh, right here. I'm like, what did I do with it? And then I'm going to punch this out just like that. Okay. And then we're just going to add this to this. You can use liquid glue, whatever you want. I just got the liquid glue handy, so that's what I'm going to use. Attach it down. Now on my original one I used 1 1/2, and after I'm looking at it I'm like, that's too big. I should have used, I used a 1 1/2. So if you don't, it doesn't look bad, but it's not the look I was going for, and I'd already had it stuck down, and then I'm looking around and then I'm like, oh, I needed this smaller one. So that's the one I end up going with. I'm going to turn this over. I'm going to get some Stampin' Dimensionals. Look, I've almost used them up so I can refill it. I've been saying I'm not going to refill my dimensional box until I use all these scraps up. I had so many in there. And I'm like, I'm getting there. I've almost got it gone. I probably would have had it gone if I didn't use the minis on the other one, on this part, but that's okay. All right, and so then I put that down, and then I went ahead and I grabbed some of the waved dies or gems that are like this, and these are no longer available, but if you don't have these, you can always take regular rhinestones and color them with your blends. I've done that before if you haven't seen any of my past videos. So yeah, and I'm just going to add one right here, and then I put one down here, kind of forming a little triangle, and then I put one right there. And that is how I made card number 3. So thanks for stopping by, and I will be back with card number 4.